When you're ready to start setting up your painting space, there's a few things that you should make sure that you can do. The first thing is make sure that you're on a surface that you can clean up. So this is just a laminate table. Wood tables work well. If you've got a vinyl tablecloth, that works well. And then the next thing, you need a cup of water. You should probably use a cup that's really crappy and you don't care what happens to it. You can use a disposable plastic cup too. These I just got for free and we use them in the classroom. The next thing, you can either use paper towel or an old washcloth. I like an old washcloth because I can use it over and over again. And then you need your acrylic brushes. Your acrylic brushes have blue handles and a sort of yellow tip here. So you probably have at least a large flat brush, a small flat brush, and then a pointed brush, or you have a large and small pointed brush and one flat brush. So here's kind of the tools that you're going to be needing. And then you also need your paint. Now these are your paints not just for this activity, but also for the first project. So your goal with these containers is going to be to keep them so that you are just using them to get paint out of. You're not going to do any mixing of paint in these. You can do the mixing in your palette, or in this case for today, so that you can kind of see where we're at. You can do mixing on just a scrap piece of paper or a piece of tin foil. So you can see here that I've lined this box with tin foil. Typically students tend to like this the best because it holds all of your paint for multiple days, and you can put wet paper towel underneath. You did get a box, a black box in your kit, and you should line that with tin foil, and that's how I kind of like to mix colors that I'm going to need for a long time. If I'm just mixing colors for one day, I just tend to use a scrap piece of paper because then I can mix my colors on top of them and be done with it when I'm finished. For cleanup, you're going to take any paper that you mixed. If you've got extra paint on there, you could take a clean brush and scoop it back into your paint. You're going to want to make sure that you close up your paint all the time. So you don't want to leave it open because you're going to need it for the quarter and you want it to last. If it's feeling like your paint is getting a little bit dried out, you can always add a couple drops of water or spritz it with water to keep it. And then you're going to put all of your colors up and away. If you've got paint mixed on your tin foil, put it in your box. You can put a piece of wet paper towel underneath it to keep your colors longer, and then make sure that your box is sealed. You can keep your rubber band around it too if that helps. And then you need to make sure that you clean all of your brushes. You don't have to clean them with soap, but you want to clean them so that when you wipe them out on paper towel or when you run them under the sink, they shouldn't have any more paint in them. They should be totally clean. So these clean brushes, you never want to keep storing them in your water for a long time. You want to store them horizontally. And then your cup, you're going to dump out, rinse it out, and then leave it to dry for the next time. All of your painted stuff you can put up high away from other people so that they don't accidentally touch your paint. But acrylic typically takes about a half an hour to dry, so it's not going to be wet for very long.